April, and today we're going to talk about fermented veggies. So the veggies that I chose are green cabbage and carrots with some cilantro, some garlic, and jalapenos. And I might have put something else in there, but I can't remember. This is what it looks like when it's all done. So I also use a starter culture, so I can actually tell you at least 3 microbes that I know are present in my vegetables, and all of those are going to be lactic acid bacteria. So when you're fermenting vegetables, the bacteria responsible for that are lactic acid bacteria. Makes sense. They are going to be obligate fermenters. They can't use oxygen for cellular respiration. They can only ferment. And you're also not going to see other organisms like yeast present, so there's not going to be alcohol present. You're going to want to limit your amount of oxygen because you don't want other microbes growing in the environment. And so I can facilitate that by using this crock. I use this a lot. And this crock is nice because it's a combination of plastic and clay, so it's less expensive than others. And then the other thing is when you look inside, I don't know if you'll be able to see very well, there's a seal inside that basically allows you to prevent oxygen from being overwhelming, and also it kind of it has a one-way kind of valve where it allows the CO2 gas to go out so that you don't get a rupture, because the gas is going to bubble if you just keep it sealed without any escape route for that. And it just takes your lid right off, and it's pretty cool. So anyways, the purpose of the different ingredients. So we already talked about the vegetables that I added, but I also like to cover all the vegetables with water, and that also helps with the oxygen. But after you do the water, you put salt in, and the salt is going to create a brine. It's going to pull water and electrolytes out of the vegetables. And with that brine, it does a couple of things. One thing is it's going to inhibit growth of some spoilage microbes. As we know, there's a lot of microbes that don't like salty environments, and this is a good thing for us. And then it also facilitates the growth of our lactic acid bacteria. So the 3 kinds of lactic acid bacteria that we know we have are Lactobacillus plantarum, Leuconosto mesenteroides, and Pedicoccus acidilactici. I'm going to post a picture and put the words because I can't say them, so you'll be able to read. And then what's happening is fermentation, and this is a way of preserving foods. So it's a traditional method. You don't have to refrigerate the food after you culture it, because the spoilage microbes that we normally see in the food that we have to throw out every week, they're not going to be present because most of those microbes aren't going to be able to survive at an acidic pH. A pH that's less than 5.5 is normally when those microbes can't survive, and lactic acid can survive up to a pH of 3.5. I'm saying up to, but it's actually a lower pH. It's more acidic. So that's a good thing. It's a cheap way of preserving your food. the other thing that happens is bacteria are actually responsible for synthesizing vitamins. So a lot of people say, oh, it's healthier than if you would just eat a raw vegetable. And that's kind of true because you actually have more vitamins available to you. Bioavailability is what they call it. So you're just taking it in and you don't have to do any work. The bacteria already did the work for you. And you're also getting those beneficial probiotics. Those beneficial microbes are still in there and they can go to work in your gut too. Why not? So like I said, we don't want oxygen because that can cause spoilage. Carbon dioxide is also a byproduct of fermentation. That's why beer is bubbly, and kombucha is something else that gets bubbly. And like I said, you can get a rupture from this process, so that's why I have that valve on there. I didn't think of that, but it's a good thing. And then alcohol is not going to occur in this instance because I don't have yeast organisms present, and that is yeast organisms, their byproduct is going to be alcohol. So no alcohol here. And the temperature that we're looking at, normally my house is about 77 to 78 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's a really good temperature for fermentation of vegetables. So lactic acid bacteria like that temperature. You go up to maybe 85 degrees, and then you're not going to get much activity if you go much lower than how warm I have my house. If you're at like 70 degrees, you might have some activity, but definitely don't try this at like 60 degrees. It's not going to be a good idea. So I was successful. I've done this a few times, so I've been unsuccessful in the past. The starter culture really helps to give a good initial environment. You already have those bacteria there, so it's good. The other thing is that crock really helps. I've done it in mason jars with different vegetables. I haven't had success with like beets and other things. So I recommend if you're going to ferment vegetables to do a crock and get some good sea salt. And starter culture is a good idea but not necessary because there are bacteria present on the vegetables already. So just to show you that yes, this is indeed success.